Let's get right into it. Number 10. Blind spot theater. Your eyes are tricking you at this very moment. Nothing flashy about it. Just a quiet little deception that happens every day. One thing though, right inside each eye sits a gap. That spot, where the wire leaves for the brain. Vision fades there, but you never notice. A spot where eyes fail to see at all. Not one receptor works here. Empty space hides right inside what you look at every day. It just sits blank, ignored, part of the picture yet never seen. Still, it slips past you every time. Your mind jumps in before you notice, patching holes with nearby shades, edges, patterns, feelings, making up what's missing. Not everything you see comes through the eyes. Much of it gets stitched together behind the scenes. What looks like truth is really a constant rebuild, shaped on the fly, passed off as fact. This changes how you view daily life surfaces, streets, expressions, because some of it is made up by your nerves. What if your mind steps in saying silence works better than truth? Fills gaps anyway, poorly, sure of itself, without warning. This odd gap filler explains why visual tricks fool us. Missing pieces make the mind uncomfortable. Uncertainty feels worse than error, so it picks a fake answer fast. When shapes appear bent or shades shift slightly, do not blame the eyes. The real culprit is a bold prediction made without permission. Your eyes do not show reality. Instead, they piece together moments like a collage made after the fact. Number 9. Fake vibrations. That feeling hits when your pocket seems to vibrate, yet nothing's there. You look. The screen stays dark. Not a single alert appears. Only letdown creeps in, along with a quiet suspicion something's off. Your mind makes things up when it feels empty. Not your device, your thoughts playing tricks. Your mind craves routines, especially around signals like alerts. When vibrations happen often, expectation builds without you noticing. It anticipates before the actual event occurs now and then. A false signal appears even when nothing touched your pocket. You felt something that wasn't sent, ordinary, invisible, done. This occurs since sensory neurons react to likelihood, not guarantees. What your brain keeps doing is questioning whether something matters over and over again. If there's even a chance the reply could be yes, it occasionally acts first, deals with consequences afterward. That's also how come you catch whispers of your name through crowd noise, or sense a touch on the back that wasn't real. Running nonstop, your mind checks everything for danger or meaning, sometimes screaming warnings when there's zero cause. It jumps at shadows just to be sure. Your world comes through a filter that guesses what's out there. These guesses often miss the mark. Reality, it never reaches you directly. Your mind acts like someone startled by a noise, convinced it meant trouble. Sometimes it shouts warnings even when there's nothing near. It flinches first, asks questions later, just like that one person you know. Things seem bigger in its eyes, especially after dark. Number 8. Flavor is mostly lying air. Taste lives in your head, not just on your tongue. Cute idea though. Most of what you think tastes like something, just scent playing dress up. Up close, your tongue notices just 5 notes. Sugar, salt, acid, bitterness, savoriness. Full list. Every other twist, dark roast, berry burst, smoked meat floats through air into nostrils while thoughts pretend it's coming from lips. Mind tricks make meals feel rich. That's why meals turn flat during a cold. Even though taste buds keep working, smell takes a break. Without scent, flavors fall apart. Spicy tomato mix becomes hollow heat. That is why blind tastings can leave folks shaken. Call an inexpensive bottle luxurious. Suddenly it seems more complex. Turn a clear wine dark. Listeners start praising deep undertones. What moves through your mind isn't flavor alone. It's the idea handed to you before the first sip. Smell runs the show when it comes to flavor, even though taste gets called the star. Your senses team up, but one quietly pulls more weight behind the scenes. Your tongue tells tales. Smell plays fair, truth runs through it. Thoughts? They bend when promises whisper close. Number 7. Pain is negotiable. Pain shows up raw, uninvited. When it bites, you believe it instantly. Nothing else matters in that moment. Still, belief can mislead. Hurt does not always show how much harm exists. Your mind decides it based on what feels dangerous. Sometimes that decision gets intense, even theatrical. That explains how someone runs on a cracked bone during a match, or fights through an injury without noticing at first. Even tiny tears from paper can seem oddly cruel out of nowhere. Your mind checks in. Does this hurt matter at this moment? When it hears running footsteps close behind, or sees a prize within reach, discomfort fades into the background. Safety sets in, attention drifts, boredom creeps near. Then the ache turns sharp, louder than before. A reason placebos can have impact sits right here. Offer a person a harmless tablet while saying it stops pain, then watch their mind produce real relief substances. What stays fixed is the physical harm. Shifting instead is how the brain interprets it. A different kind of ache sticks around much longer. Even after healing finishes, the mind still shouts danger without reason. Signals twist and tangle along the way. What once warned now just repeats routine instead of warning. Pain does not work like an emergency siren. Instead, imagine a nervous trainee holding a checklist, one who might trigger warnings just on a whim. Number 6. Time is wiggly. Time feels steady, right? Not really. Waiting 5 minutes for a microwave seems endless compared to enjoying your favorite show. The clock stays constant. What shifts is how your mind works. Attention, new experiences, and feelings shape how long things feel, not the ticking hands on a watch. Something fresh or intense makes your mind catch more pieces. Looking back, those moments stretch out like old rubber bands. Back then, summer holidays dragged on forever. Now time slips past between work messages and buying food. The mental scribbles just faded away. Time drags when fear shows up. It vanishes while boredom takes hold. With routine, there is no sense of passing at all. That moment when crashes seem stretched out, blame a rush of signals lighting up your mind. Everything clicks into sharper focus, almost too clear. Time does not drag. What shifts is how fast your thoughts stack up inside. Awareness just gets turned way up. Time gets tracked by your watch. What the mind makes of it, that's a different story. Hardly any connection between them. Time isn't fixed, your mind sees it more like loose guidance. Pays attention when it wants, ignores when it doesn't. Number 5. Hearing isn't live. Sound reaches your ears later than when it actually occurs. What you experience is already past. Your mind holds sound back just enough to match what you see. In real time, it tweaks the world around you. The moment you think is happening now, just a tuned-up clip from moments earlier. That's the reason self-tickling fails. When you try, your brain sees it coming. Because it anticipates the feeling, it tones it down. Familiarity makes it ignore the signal. What's expected feels pointless to react to. That explains why ventriloquism tricks us. Sounds seem to come from motion, so when a puppet moves its mouth just right, the mind accepts it without question. The voice shifts toward the movement even if we know better. Timing makes belief feel natural. Vibrations reach your ears. From there, meaning begins not by chance but shaped inside the mind. Location, significance, attention each sorted without words. Your ears don't record sound like a device. Instead, they piece things together late and rearranged, just to make sense of the noise. Number 4. Memory is a fan fiction. Your memories feel reliable. That feeling is misleading. Each time memory kicks in, it is not a playback. It is more like rebuilding. Bits come out of hiding, holes get patched with assumptions, rough edges vanish. Then the updated copy replaces what was there before. Well done, that old record just got altered. That's what makes eyewitness accounts so shaky. One moment, two individuals see identical things, yet recall opposite versions later, each certain their version fits. Neither intends deception. The mind simply fills gaps without asking permission. Facts stay put. Yet how you feel today reshapes what yesterday meant. A good mood paints old moments in soft light. Worry drags earlier choices into harsher shadows. What happens stays fixed. Who tells the story shifts underfoot. Strange how sureness tricks us. Picture it clear, feel it true. Truth doesn't matter much then. A sharp image in your head acts like proof, though it might be made up. Believing it just because it feels real? That's giving power to smooth talk instead of silent facts. Your mind does not store facts like books on shelves. Instead, it reshapes stories every time they're told, polished by repetition but never quite fixed. Number 3, vision is emotionally biased. Seeing begins where sight ends. Emotions shape what the eyes catch. Everything around you shifts when emotions change. Anxious? Faces seem furious even if they are not. Words that mean nothing come across sharp. Dark corners start feeling risky. Safety checks run behind your eyes, adjusting what you notice. The world tilts slightly off balance. Long ago, staying alert kept people alive. When under pressure, spotting danger, even if false, was better than ignoring real risk. That system still runs, though today's world changed while the brain didn't. Now, something small like a harsh message can tint everything around you with unease. A shift can lift everything into sharper focus. Happier moments make reds deeper. Faces glow with more warmth. Sound carries further. Strikes deeper. Rhythm finds its way under the skin. Life hums louder, though nothing out there shifted at all. It is the mind that cranked up the brightness. Light hits your eyes first. Yet meaning comes later, shaped by how you feel inside. What you see gets filtered through mood before it becomes real. Your view of reality isn't shaped by what's out there. How your nerves respond shapes everything you notice instead. Number 2. Your body map is wrong. Picture yourself without looking. Feel where your arms rest. Notice the length of each finger. Sense the spot where your spine meets the seat beneath you. A slight pause? That happens when your brain's sense of the body feels unclear. Shifting with motion, touch, or what you anticipate. This inner picture rarely matches reality. That's what makes tricks such as the rubber hand illusion effective. A false hand gets stroked out of sight of the real limb, slowly pulling perception into alignment. The mind bends easily under subtle cues. What feels like possession leans closer to a quiet hint than a solid fact. Odd how signals pop up where nothing exists anymore. Though the arm vanished long ago, neurons keep firing like before. A ghost of wiring lingers without warning. Messages travel paths that lead nowhere now. Your sense of physical self is a model, not a measurement. Your mind tries to figure out where you stop and everything else starts. Yet every now and then, it gets it backward. Number 1. Reality is a prediction. This changes everything. Why every sense you have ever trusted turns out false right from the start. Your mind isn't just soaking up what's around. Right now, it's guessing what comes next. With each instant, it builds a version of events it expects, then checks real signals against that guess. When things line up, it gives a quiet nod. Reality feels solid. When they don't, it tweaks the forecast or tunes out the mismatch. Frequently, forecasts come out on top. That's the reason clear details escape you, even when visible. Importance gets filtered by your mind before you notice. What you anticipate changes what you feel. Pain feels sharper when expected. A punchline lands easier if laughter is already waiting. Your world isn't built on what you see. It's shaped by guesses your mind keeps testing. Right now, your mind runs on a clever kind of delay. Efficiency comes at a cost. Energy use drops. Responses get quicker. Life feels manageable even when everything spins. Yet time isn't quite real here. What you experience lags behind what's happening, shaped by expectation more than reality. The next second arrives before you notice the one that just passed. Things like seeing or hearing stuff that isn't there. Not glitches. More like built-in results, what shows up when your brain's guesses stop matching the world around you. Your mind doesn't hand you reality. Instead, it serves up a rough prediction, crossing fingers you won't catch the gap. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.